Hello, everyone in YouTube land. We lovers are back here as always, back with another video, and this is going to be well, I guess you can call it a Halloween themed video, horror movie themed video. I said in my last video or whatever I was going to do a Halloween themed type video or whatever, like I do pretty much every year. Just talk about what I'm going to be doing this Halloween or whatever. I don't know, dorky stuff like that, but. I don't know if I ever did a video like this. Maybe I have. I don't know. I know I've done, like, survival horror games to play during Halloween or October and whatever, but, movies. Come on. Everyone loves movies, hopefully, especially horror movies or whatever. I'm a huge horror movie fanatic, for those that don't know. I'm sure you probably do. I made a list, actually, instead of breaking down some of my DVD and Blu-rays. I just don't have the motivation to grab all my movies out and show them off. It'd be cool to see that, because I like to actually, show stuff off once in a while, I guess. And it's good to have something in my hand and talk, I guess, because it's, I don't know. I just don't have the motivation to grab all my stuff. They're all in bins right now, and nothing's organized. Like I said, though, it would be nice to have all my stuff, right here, but I just don't have the motivation to do that at the moment. And if you find that boring, just me talking about movies, shut the video off. And yeah, it's not about games at all in this video. It's just horror movies to watch during Halloween, October, the Halloween season, whatever you want to call it. This is just a personal list. I just, threw it together. There's a lot of different Halloween-themed movies out there, and, the right horror movies to watch during Halloween, movies that have the good atmosphere and whatever. It doesn't have to be a Halloween-themed movie or whatever. It just has to have good atmosphere, or whatever, everyone has their own tastes, I guess, and opinions, so it's fine. I have a lot of obvious movies on here, and then I have a lot of, some obscure stuff, but again, there is so much more. Obviously I'm going to be talking about the movies on my list here, and then some, whatever, honorable mentions, I guess, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I can jump around on the list, but it's not really in order. Only the first one is in order, and it's a pretty obvious one. I'll get to it later. People have talked about it to death. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, but I'll get to that later, though. But the list is not really in order, so you can comment down below what movies you like to watch during Halloween or October or whatever. Let's see. There's... Jesus. Actually, I just got done watching it tonight, actually. I try to watch it every year or whatever. It's really, really good, actually. And there's a lot of different versions of it. And it's Dracula, the Francis Ford Coppola one from 1982 with Anthony Hopkins and Winona Ryder and Keanu Reeves. I love that movie. It's great. It's a classic. It's one of the best movies of the 90s, in my opinion. It has atmosphere. It's just a great, awesome movie. Just really, really cool. Gary Oldman's obviously in it too. He's amazing as Dracula. It's Dracula. It's 1992. It's Francis Ford Coppola. I'm sure everyone has seen it. It's an amazing, amazing movie. Yeah, the set design in the movie is amazing. It's just really, I think, a good movie to watch during Halloween. Not a lot of people talk about that movie anymore, though. But it is a classic, though. Another movie, kind of obvious, I guess, maybe. It's Tim Burton. It's not what you think, though. It's Sleepy Hollow. Yeah, it's Sleepy Hollow. Again, it has atmosphere. It has the right tone to it. It's kind of gothic horror, I guess. It has a little bit of comedy in it, but obviously Johnny Depp is in it. It's just an awesome, awesome movie, and I think, yeah, it is a classic. I think it's a highly regarded movie. Just awesome movie. I know some people don't like the humor in the movie, or some people think it's overrated, but I love Sleepy Hollow. Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow. It's just great. Great movie to watch during Halloween. I think it's one of the most perfect movies to watch during Halloween, actually, in my opinion. Another one I watched a couple days ago, actually, on Blu-ray. It's a family movie. It's animated, CGI. It's Monster House. Came out a couple years ago, or actually a while ago. Actually, the movie's almost 10 years old. Yeah, Monster House. Great movie. Steven Spielberg produced it. It's a great movie. It takes place on Halloween. It's about the, the house or whatever. It just an awesome. It almost feels like Goonies meets Monster Squad. Actually, I don't know if anyone has heard of Monster Squad, but it's kind of a mesh-up between those two. Steven Spielberg produced it, so. But yeah, it feels like that. Just I wish they would make more movies like that. It is a classic, I think. A lot of people put it on their list as one of their best animated movies, ever. It really is. It's really. If you haven't seen Monster House, go see it. Yeah, it's pretty much like Goonies meets Monster House, I guess. But yeah, kids being kids. It's just really a nice, charming, movie. The Blu-ray looks amazing. So, let's see. Another movie, animated. I don't know if it's for kids, but it's animated. Came on not that long ago, and it's actually it's one of my favorite anime movies. It's up there actually. It's Paranorman. I love that movie a lot. It's really not for kids at all. It's very adult in some parts. Very inappropriate for kids, I guess. It has, obviously zombie-related stuff in it. I'm sure if you've seen it or whatever. It's a great movie. It's by the same people that did Coraline and now Box Trolls that just came out, whatever, a couple weeks ago. Yeah, it's just a great, fucking awesome movie. It's a perfect movie to watch during Halloween. Another perfect movie to watch during Halloween or October, or whatever. Yeah, it's definitely high up on my list of favorite anime movies of probably all time, actually. Stop motion animation, obviously. So, let's see. Oh man. Again, this list is not in order, so kind of jumping around here, kind of random. Another movie on here that I haven't watched it yet this month or whatever this year. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. The Exorcist. I don't need to talk about that. It's The Exorcist. Come on. Some people might disagree with that. It's not really a movie to watch during Halloween. You have to be in the perfect mood to watch that. It's kind of, yeah, it's The Exorcist. Come on. Another movie. Okay, this is perfect. I actually watched all four. I did a marathon a couple weeks ago. Just watched all four of them. I just put the first one on here. But it's Scream. It's definitely a movie of my generation. It's the movie that brought back horror movies in the 90s and made it popular again. It was talked about. I don't know if you're old enough to know what Scream is. Probably not, but yeah, it was a dead time for horror movies in the 90s, and Scream brought it back. Everyone was talking about it. It was like in the same vein as Psycho and Halloween, whatever. It's really seminal, movie. Really is one of the best horror movies ever made, I think, and one of the best horror movies of the 90s. Next up here, yeah, this is kind of random, but you probably don't know why I put it on here, but whatever. Pet Sematary. I like it a lot. It's really good. Why? I don't know. I can't explain that. I guess because of the, again, atmosphere. It's just really a scary ass movie too. I guess everyone has seen it, but yeah, it's just really a disturbing, haunting movie. I don't need to explain it or whatever, but yeah, it's something about that movie is really unsettling and just creepy. Especially that cat. And it's just really, yeah, a creepy ass movie. And the older guy in the movie, I forgot his name now in Pet Sematary, but yeah, it's just an awesome movie. I love Pet Sematary a lot. Next up here is a movie that you should watch on Halloween every year. It's a classic. Night of the Living Dead. I mean, come on, what can I say? The movie's been also talked about to death, you know. It has a perfect mood. Honestly, I think Night of the Living Dead is one of my favorite black and white movies ever made. Seriously, it's one of my favorite classic black and white movies ever made. The reason why it was black and white, probably, you know, obviously it's a low budget movie, they can afford color, yeah. But I love George Romero, he's one of my favorite movie directors of all time, so, yeah, you should watch that every year. Try to, it's just, you know, it's like Halloween or whatever, you know, it's just one of those, yeah, yeah, just the mood and the black and white adds to it, it's just creepy, just like any other black and white horror movie, you know, the Universal monster movies or whatever, it's just perfect to, yeah, it's just great mood. Next up here is not a horror movie, it's a Disney movie, it's family, it's Hocus Pocus. You gotta watch that during Halloween. It's just, you know, one of the best Halloween themed movies ever made, and I don't think it did well when it came out though, but God, that movie is really underrated. A lot of people do talk about it now. It has a kind of a cult following a little bit, but I know some people want a sequel to it. That's obviously not gonna happen, but awesome classic movie. Definitely part of my generation. So, next up here, I just put Universal monster movies instead of putting all of them on there, but just all of them. I mean, we all have our favorites when it comes to Universal monster movies. Personally, I like Frankenstein, Dracula, and Creature from the Black Lagoon. Those are my favorite. Wolfman is not my favorite. I honestly don't think it's a great movie at all, but that's just my opinion. I think it's really boring, the Wolfman. There's some good scenes in it. Obviously, you know, the Wolfman, the way he looks or whatever, but I just don't care for that movie. It drags on a bit, but I love Frankenstein, I love Dracula, I love Creature from the Black Lagoon. Mummy is good too. Bride of Frankenstein, obviously. So, those are obvious, and you have to watch at least one of maybe two of those every year, every Halloween or whatever, try to. So, yeah, they're classic movies. What more can I say? Oh, I'm actually watching it right now. The Shining. Yeah. What more? I don't. You're probably wondering why The Shining. I don't know. It's definitely something that's part of me. It's really a movie that I really adore. It's actually one of the first horror movies I ever watched, along with The Exorcist. So, yeah, The Shining. I had to put it on there. It's a personal thing. So, it doesn't have like a Halloween theme mood or any of that type of stuff, or special effects or monsters or creatures. But it's just, maybe it's just me. I don't know. But definitely The Shining. One of the best horror movies ever made. Period. No question about that. Now this one right here, I just put the Evil Dead trilogy instead of putting all of them on there. Oh, and the new one too from last year. But yeah, all the Evil Dead movies, all four of them now. First one, you know, everyone loves Evil Dead 2. I actually love the first Evil Dead more than the Evil Dead 2. Surprisingly enough, I know a lot of people love Army of Darkness. Now, Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness are probably the most popular ones in that franchise, but I love the first one. God, is that movie still has the same effect every time I watch it. The mood, the setting, special effects, the gore effects, everything in that movie is perfect. It's well shot. It's Sam Raimi. It's just an amazing movie. Yeah, the effects are great. It's obviously very low budget, shot on 16mm film. It's a great movie. I love it. I love the second one. I love the whole series. I love the new one too, which is not a remake, by the way. Evil Dead from last year is not a remake, just a sequel. A lot of people are calling it a remake, which is not a remake at all. It has nothing to do with the first one. Evil Dead 2, it's just a new movie, new story, and I love that movie a lot too. The new Evil Dead is one of my favorite horror movies I've seen in years, literally. I mean, it's one of the best theatrical horror movies I've seen in years. I love that movie a lot. The whole trilogy. Gotta watch that during Halloween. Probably a personal thing for me too. So, next up here, another movie. I probably said this word so many times in this video, but The Fog. John Carpenter's The Fog. Again, mood, setting, atmosphere. That's important, especially for me. watching a horror movie, you have to have perfect atmosphere. You have to. It's obviously really well shot. It's a good ghost story. Just probably one of my favorite ghost movies of all time. I mean, it's really, really well made. Obviously, it's Carpenter and his, prime, when he was really making good movies. Then, God, that movie is amazing. I love The Fog so much. Just looks amazing. And I heard the Blu-ray from Scream Factory is really good too. Looks amazing on Blu-ray, but I don't have that yet. It's just an amazing looking movie too. So, next up here, kind of obscure, but it's kind of getting a cult following. As people are, starting to notice it, and it's Night of the Demons. That's a Halloween movie. It's up there. A lot of people think it's one of the best Halloween themed movies ever. Like it's ever been made. I think it is. I really think it is. It's not. It's one of my favorites. I don't think it beats one of the other movies on my list, but I'll get to that later though. Night of the Demons is great. Never seen the remake. Don't want to bother. I heard it was terrible. But yeah, Night of the Demons is amazing. I've seen it a couple times. I don't actually own it. It's not in my collection actually. Sadly enough, it's hard to find. But they did re-release it, Scream Factory on Blu-ray. So I do want to get that, but they're very hard to find. So even the old DVD was out of print forever. So it sucks. Yeah, Night of the Demons, awesome movie. Next up here, okay, I put some of them on my list, and obviously the first one is there because you gotta watch it. Come on. But I love the whole series. It's my favorite horror franchise of all time. I should have put more on them. I should have put actually all of them on my list. What am I saying? And I'll just get it out there. The Halloween franchise. I put two. I put Halloween 2, Halloween H2O, Halloween 4. So, and the original Halloween. Yeah, I love all of them. Everyone has their favorites. Obviously, there's some bad ones in there. Obviously, Halloween 5 is really bad. A lot of people hate Halloween Curse of Michael Myers, which is the 6th one, But I love Halloween Curse of Michael Myers. I hate Halloween 5. Halloween 5 is bad. It's not a good movie at all. It really isn't. It's garbage, pretty much. But I try to watch it every year just for nostalgia, I think. But, yeah, it's not a good movie at all, Halloween 5. Halloween 2 is a great sequel, the original Halloween 2. And you can make fun of me all you want, but I do love Rob Zombie's Halloween. And the second one too. You're probably going, oh, what? Why? I love Rob Zombie's Halloween. I really do. I think it's better than Resurrection and 5. But I love the whole damn series. I really do. It's Michael Myers. Come on, he's the originator when it comes to horror icons or whatever. Slasher, I guess. Icons, I guess. So. Yeah, I have to put all those. You have to put at least watch a couple of them during October or whatever. But obviously, my #1 pick is the original Halloween, obviously. So that's not a surprise. But another movie on here, which I honestly think is the greatest Halloween movie ever made, and it came out a couple years ago, and the second one's coming out I think next year, and that is Trick or Treat. I think I mentioned that a couple times in my past Halloween themed videos or whatever. It's one of the best horror movies, period. I think it's one of the best horror anthologies ever made. Right up there with the Creep Show and whatever, and it's a great movie. And it's a movie to watch during Halloween. You have to. It's one of those just things you have to do. I think it's one of the, honestly, when it comes to horror movies in the 2000s, from last decade and now, I think Trick or Treat is one of those first classic horror movies that everyone will remember. Just the way the movie looks, the theme, in the intro, the Sam character, that little kid, it's just a very memorable movie, and a lot of people are trying to look for horror classics now, and what's the next big horror classic that's going to be made, and it's like Trick or Treat is it, it's one of the best horror movies of the 2000s in the past, like, at least over 10 years, so, and it looks great on Blu-ray too, so, and I already talked about my #1 pick, so who cares, it's Halloween. But yeah, that's it. That's my list. 20 movies right there. But, God, there's so many movies, to watch during Halloween. I'm not going to go any longer than this. I think this video's gone long enough. So, let's see. yeah, I think that's about it. So I'm not going to be doing much during Halloween, obviously, just like a lot of people, unless you're going to Halloween parties or whatever, or if you're trick-or-treating. If you're an adult trick-or-treating, have fun, I guess. I don't do that, obviously. I haven't done it for a long time. I wish there was Halloween haunted houses and hay rides near here, but they don't do that anymore around here. It sucks. It really does. It really fucking sucks. A lot of people are not getting hyped up for Halloween. It doesn't seem like it nowadays, you know. It's like, ooh, it's an evil holiday or whatever. Oh, God. But, you know, carving pumpkins. I got to carving pumpkins tomorrow and handing out candy. Nothing original there, but yeah, that's what I watched during Halloween. So, yeah, like I said, this video is done. So comment down below what horror movies or Halloween themed movies do you watch during October. But you know, yeah, I don't know. Don't want to have this video going too long here. More gaming related videos and all that stuff. Trying to think of some more topics to do and trying to do something different, you know. Not a lot going on right now when it comes to gaming. I mean, we already had that big information a couple days ago. Obviously, you know, Smash Brothers is coming out very soon, the Wii U one. Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are coming out. So, but yeah, I just gotta do this Halloween themed video. I try to do one every year now. Yeah, for gaming news, there's just not a lot going on, so just kind of, not a lot of big stuff, you know. It's not like, oh god, you know, something big. Yeah, I just try to think of some topics here and there. So, peace out. Later. Happy Halloween in October. So, peace out. Later. Bye.